Hello and welcome everyone to Copy and Paste, the clean and family-friendly Reddit reading podcast. This is the second episode of r/EntitledParents, where parents decide that they deserve something others don't. Thank you for joining me. Okay, let's get started. Our first post is made by user/redoneturtles. This story is something that happened to me and my fiance fairly recently. We recently bought our first home together in a nice, quiet area in the north of England. If you're not familiar with the British postal system, basically we get letters delivered through flaps in our front doors, and parcels that are larger than the letterbox get handed to us if we are in. If we are not, then they get given to a neighbour, and we can collect them later. If no one can take them, they get taken back to the depot, where they sit or are returned to the sender. So last month, we were getting settled into our new home, and my fiancé bought some clothes online for a local gym he wanted to join. I was in the house the day of the delivery, as I was expecting it, and I'm working from home. When the delivery lady arrived with the parcel, there were two. I thought nothing of it at first and put it in the garage for my fiancé to open later. When he came in from work, he rushes to open his delivery like it was Christmas, and to his surprise, the second parcel was not for him. It had our address on it, but no name. We were both confused at this point and thought it may be for one of the neighbors, and they would collect it later. Time goes by, and we get a note through the door that reads, "Hey, my son got his parcel delivered to your house. Call me on blank so I can come collect it." Again, we thought it was a neighbor. My fiancé called the number for a woman to answer and say she will be over shortly to collect the parcel. It turned out she lived across the town, and the son chose our address to have it delivered to. We thought this was weird, but we assumed it might have been a mistake. Anyways, we thought that was the last of this, but then the next day I get two more parcels for this lady's son. Again, with no name, but our address on the package. At this point, I'm thinking it was a mistake on their part, or possibly they used to live here. They come to collect the parcels, and all is well. But guess what? More and more parcels over the next week arrive for the lady's son. At this point, I'm starting to get really annoyed by this, as even though I work from home, I can't leave meetings constantly to collect parcels that aren't even ours. So the next day, when the parcel lady comes, I just tell her, "Sorry, this isn't for me, and you'll need to return it to the sender." So off she goes and takes the parcel back to the depot. A few hours later, I hear a knock on the door, and guess who? Entitled mother is standing there with her son. I hate confrontation, so my memory of the conversation is a bit hazy, but she was furious that we denied her parcel, and now she had to wait for it to be redelivered. I told her she needs to get her parcels delivered to her own home, as it's weird and inconvenient for me. Like, I don't even know this lady. She then tells me it's easier for her to get them delivered to my home, as I'm always in and she isn't. Now, maybe this would possibly be okay if I was friends with her and she asked, but she lives across town and chose a random address for her parcels. Anyways, she leaves, and I think this may be the end of the story. But parcels keep showing up for the next week, and I politely tell the parcel lady they aren't mine and to return to the sender. After a week of doing this, I stopped getting the parcels. So, I guess she got the message. How entitled must this woman have been to think it's okay to get parcels delivered to a random person's home that she doesn't even know because it's easier for her? I really hope she didn't start doing this to someone else after me, but it was satisfying to know that she would wait twice as long for parcels because they were returned to the sender. Police are now informed, as they firstly didn't think it was anything illegal and just a lazy woman. But I will update if the police come back with anything. I also have CCTV of the lady and a phone number. Holy, that was very odd. Our second post is made by user/Snqwmqn. I will have the link in the description. I'm a 27 female, a flight attendant for a major US airline. A few years ago, while at a very busy airport, I was in line to get some food. My luggage is almost an extension of my hand when I'm working. I carry a shoulder bag and then I have a large rollerboard and a smaller sized tote that hooks to the large bag, so it extends a bit behind me. As I'm waiting, I feel the bag move. Afraid I'm in someone's way, I pull it closer and turn around to see a toddler. I'll call him T for the remainder of the story, laying on the 2 bags. 3 times I said to the parents that they need to move T. He could get hurt. They take him off briefly, but within a second or 2, he's back. When I try to pull the bag away, T thinks it's a game. Parents just ignore me, giving them looks. The 3rd time, I specifically said, "This is a busy airport, and if I move quickly for some reason, he's going to get hurt." Snarky reply from the mom. I know how to watch my kid. Once I reach the register, I place my order. As I finish, airline scheduling called me a rear-trip change. I need to quickly get to a place where I can take notes. Without even thinking about it, I rolled my backpack quickly, which meant that T, who was apparently playing with my luggage tags, another lady informed me after, gets bowled backwards and hits his head on the hard tile floor. Cue the flip out from the kid and parents, yelling I was guilty of child abuse, demanding to see my work ID so they could report me to the company, etc., etc. Which I'm neither obligated nor willing to do. Airport police arrive just as my food is ready. One happens to be someone I see in the airport regularly. We have a 30-second conversation in which I explain and identify the woman who has already offered to be a witness on my behalf. I need to get to the gate for the next flight, so cop says, "I know where to find you if I need you, but don't stress, get out of here and work your flight." As I thank him and start to walk away, the kid's grandfather attempts to run past the cop to stop me from leaving, and when the cop puts his hand on his shoulder, he shoves the cop with all his strength and lunges. I find out after because this happens behind me. I feel just a brief tug on the strap of my shoulder bag and turn around to see the other airport cop slamming Grandpa to the ground. Grandpa pled out, so I never had to testify in court, but all could have been avoided if they'd watched over the damn kid. That's not just entitled parents, it's entitled grandparents too. Gosh. Our last post is made by user ElephantExplosion. So, my orientation at a large retailer was Friday. And yesterday, Monday, was my first day of training, where I was basically sat on the computer for several hours. Several meaning 8. I've not spent one day out on the floor working yet. I wasn't even wearing a name badge or anything that had the company name on it. I was wearing a black t-shirt, black jeggings, and sneakers with a grey hoodie on. I come out of the back room into the store after 8 hours of very tedious, annoying computer training. As I come out of the back room, which is by the back bathrooms, there is a mother fussing with her, what looks to be a 3-year-old daughter. The kid doesn't want to go in the bathroom, and there is what looks to be an 8-year-old standing near the bathroom, bouncing up and down. From what I could make out of the argument, as I was coming out of the back room, I suppose the 3-year-old didn't want to go in the bathroom, and the 8-year-old had to go, and for whatever reason, I guess the mother couldn't just let the 8-year-old go in the bathroom by herself. So, as I'm walking out of the back room door, the mother yells at me, "Ma'am!" I break my stride and kind of freeze from the sheer volume of yelling, and I look at her confused as hell. "Well, are you just gonna stand there looking like a slut for a disabled person here, or are you gonna help me?" I just stand there for a second and say, "Huh?" She makes a noise that I can only describe as an angry motorcycle, and then describes, "Dumb crap, you work here, right? You came out of work, then workers came out of." I just glared at her because I really was not in the mood today. Then I proceeded to just walk away because this was not the day. Then this absolute psychopath starts to follow me, apparently just abandoning a 3-year-old sitting in the car. Her. "Hello, hello, hello. What are you doing?" Me. "I'm leaving. What does it look like?" I say in the most annoyed of tones. Her. "You can't go home. I need help." Me. "Sounds like a you problem." "But I'm the customer and you work here and you have to help me." After this lady had followed me for a good 20 feet away from a child, I stopped, more worried that she was going to keep following me and just abandon her child there to get hurt. I stopped to try and get her to stop following me for her child's sake. Me. Do I have a name badge on? Am I wearing a uniform? Well, you came out of the employee room. Do I have a badge? Am I wearing a vest? No, but then I don't have to do anything for you. Leave me alone. And I just kept walking. I did make sure I heard her walking back to her cart, though, to make sure she just didn't abandon her child in it. Holy crap, that is one entitled mother and hypocrite. And I'm sorry to inform you, but that was all we have for today. Thank you for joining me. To listen to this podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or one of many more platforms, or to visit any of my socials, click the Linktree link in the description. And feel free to send me an audio message. Just go to anchor.fm/copyandpaste/message. Or just go into the description and click on the link. It's been a pleasure. Goodbye. Also, happy Queen's birthday to all English people and people who live in Commonwealth countries.